All right. Hey guys, happy Monday. Welcome to the Dream Team Zoom. Um, if you have anybody who is like, hey, I used to watch this in the team page, we can no longer stream the Zooms into the groups. So I will do a much better job of putting these back on my YouTube. So if you have somebody, or if you want to watch it again, or you have someone on your team who's looking for it, it'll be on my YouTube channel. Today, first of all, I just want to say we got less than 48 hours to finish the month strong, and we have a whole brand new month coming at us. And I can't tell you anything, but I am going to tell you that Wednesday morning something's coming, and it is so exciting. And that's all I'll say because I'm afraid I'm going to screw up and say more. Okay. So what I want to talk to you about is, oh, good, she's on here now. So Samantha always says that like when you hear something or see something, and then you hear it and see it again, and then you hear it, see it again, like that's God and surround sound. And so surround sound has hit me a couple of times, actually 3 times in the last, I think, 2 or 3 days. And it is the quote from Gandhi. And if any of you have listened to Ed Milet in the last week, you've heard this. That is the one time I heard it. And then I heard it on another podcast. And then I heard it on an Audible book. And I was like, okay, Jesus, I'm paying attention. Anyway, the quote is, I will not let anyone walk through my mind with dirty feet. Here's the kicker, though. As much as I could immediately be like, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm not letting so-and-so say this, that, or the other. I'm not letting so-and-so say that. The thing that kept coming back to me was it wasn't other people's dirty feet. It was my own dirty feet. My own dirty feet have been in my head a lot in the last few months. And I don't know. I think I just got annoyed with myself finally that I just decided to get the mop out and clean that shit up and move. Oh, sorry about my language, but just and move on and get that crap out of my head. So I'm going to talk a little bit to you today about keeping the negativity out of your life, but also how to keep your own negativity from overriding all that you have to offer this world. You guys, I'll be very honest with you, and this is a very humbling thing to say. For the last few months, I was not truly excited about being able to do a 40K rank advance because technically I would love to be breaking a 200K rank advance. I knew if and when I hit it that I would get a bunch of messages from people. And sure enough, last night I got a bunch of messages from people like, oh, that's so great you got that. But I thought you were already 80K. I had 2 people say they thought I was a 200K, which I thought was super sweet of them. But I allowed my own mindset to be, I don't know if distraught is the word, embarrassed, annoyed. Like I have a red leg and it's huge and I created it myself. So I'm just mad at myself about that. But I've allowed that to hold me back. And so thank God in the last couple of weeks, I was like, get over your damn self. Like, how are you ever going to hit an 80K or a 200K if you can't freaking get to the 40K that you're supposed to be breaking, right? Like, we as a team, Dream Team, you guys are this close to being 80K this month. Like, I am beyond proud. I am stalking you all. I am keeping track of all of this. I want to see Dream Team go well past the 80K. And I just had to separate myself from that. Like, me as a leader, my pay rank, that it's important. Don't get me wrong. This is my full-time job, but I want to see the team grow. And if I was holding myself back, how the hell was I going to lead a team to get any bigger or do any better, right? And how was I the one who was constantly believing in all of you 1,000 times more than I was believing in myself, right? My dirty feet were all over this brain of mine, like all over. I had mud and dirt and everything up there. So what I want to talk to you guys about is cleaning that shit up. Shit, damn hell, exactly the message I need. Well, I don't even know. I mean, I know who it is because it's Charlotte, but I didn't know who 1+CPH blah, blah, blah was. So I'm so glad you have like your tagline so we know who you are, Charlotte. Sonia says you're speaking my language. Yeah, you guys, I'm the first one to tell you your rank doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. I have seen so many people do amazing things that are not nowhere close to 200K. And I've met a lot of 200Ks who I would not in a million years switch my life with because they are not all that in a bag of chips. But yet when it came to me looking at my cloud in my own little world, I was holding myself back. But I mean, duh, like how stupid was that? How stupid was I to keep holding myself back, but yet think I could grow my team? Like that's stupid. That's the only word I can come up with. That's just pure stupidity right there. And I know that it happens to all of us. I know we get worried. No, it's Sheila. Oh, Sheila stole Charlotte's saying. Sheila, I actually see your face with the thing now. I'm sorry. I just saw the words and assumed it was Charlotte. Where is Charlotte now that we gave her a shout out? Anyway, so I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I've spent the last, and I think the last time they did rank advance, I had the same, and I probably hadn't registered it, but in the back of my mind, I probably had the same thing holding me back. And so had I gotten rid of this mind monkey that Jennifer Zant calls them 4 months ago, I could maybe have been breaking 80K rank right now. But I drug my feet. I wallowed in my own shit. So learn from me. Don't do that. Work for yourself, work for your pay. No one knows how much money you're making or not making. And I can tell you, rank does not indicate that. I have at times made more money as a 12K than I've seen 40 and 80Ks make, and vice versa. So don't let that hold you back. And again, I know I'm saying it, but I allowed it to happen, but I'm coming clean. Like I'm coming clean, right? I don't know why. I don't know why I got into that spiral, but I did. So let me get focused here again. I want to talk to you guys about the like how you can nourish yourself, for lack of a better word, to keep to it's kind of like your gut health, right? The more probiotics we have inside, building up our gut strength. It's not that when you get a healthy gut, stuff isn't coming at you, right? Like you're still getting crap in your food and your air and your water. It's just that you're healthy enough to fight it off. And I want to talk to you about nourishing your brain so that when the crap comes at you, because it's going to come, whether you bring it on yourself or somebody throws it in your face, it's going to come at you. But I want you and your mindset to be healthy enough to fight it off. And you guys, this is something that I deal with every single day. I actually listened to a podcast a couple weeks ago. It's Stormy Wellington. I haven't listened to her in a while, and she was exactly what I needed. But she was talking about like how she's always about like being the queen and being like, you know, the goddess that she's born to be. And she's like, how are you walking around with a hole in your sock, but yet you want the world to treat you like a queen? How are you never treating yourself like how are you never putting lotion on your legs like a queen would do, but yet you want the world to treat? Like she just literally talks about all the little things that you could be doing for yourself that you don't do, but yet you want the world to treat you, to serve you, to we're all hoping the world's going to bring us that promoter that's going to take us to the next level, right? But are we doing the things for ourselves that we should be doing to get us there, right? It would be like a girl who's like, I'm waiting on Prince Charming, but she's not brushing her teeth every day. Well, honey, he ain't coming. And if he does, he's going to walk right past you, right? So it's the same thing. What are the little things you can be doing to mentally be giving yourself the best of the best so that you are truly who you are meant to be when good things come your way? All right, so now that I've gotten totally off track here, I'm going to read just a couple of things that I have, some notes here I have. The positive mindset is one that is geared towards abundance, growth, creativity, and moving forward. So abundance, when I was not trying to fight for a 40K rank because I was like, what's not 80K? That's not abundance. That was definitely not, that's the complete opposite of abundance. That's negative, 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 right? Growth, I definitely was holding myself back from growing. Tammy, do math. You can't get to 41 if you don't get to 40, right? You can't get to 42 if you don't get to 41. So it's all about growth. Creativity, it wasn't until I decided to just cut the shit and figure out a way to do it that I got really creative on how to do it. Prior to that, I was like, I don't know how to do it. I've tried. I can't get past my red leg. I can't get anybody to buy anything. You guys, I got creative and I got 14 freaking orders in less than 20 or less than 48 hours. Because why? Because I got creative and I just went out there to do it. But why wasn't I creative that way for the last 4 months? Right? Why was I holding myself back? And then moving forward, obviously, again, you can't go forward unless you take a step forward. There's a lot of people, maybe some of you on here, who want to grow your business. You want to move forward. You want to do better, but you're not putting one foot in front of the next. You're literally standing still or you're sitting down. Or a lot of you are looking in the rearview mirror. And I can guarantee you're not going to move forward if you're looking in the rearview mirror, right? That was me. I was looking in the rearview mirror. I was like, well, I used to be this, 80K. I used to be almost 200K. Well, that doesn't freaking matter. Like that was yesterday. Like literally nothing that happened yesterday matters now. What creative did you do to get those first? I did BOGO. I reached out to people individually and I said, hey, I got a BOGO today. What kind of Thrive can we get ordered? And then when they would write me back and say, I could use a box of shakes or I could use a box of capsules, I was like, well, shipping is the same for 1 through 6 boxes. So how many total do you want to get? And I mean, I had people who legitimately did not take advantage of the buy 600 for $300 thing, like a few days prior, who ended up putting in $400 and $500 orders in the end. So it was just taking the time one-on-one. I went through every non-promoting promoter, every customer. I went through everybody and anybody I could possibly think of, and I offered them BOGO. And in the end, I did have to buy $200 worth of credits to make it happen. But for the payout, that math was mathin', if you know what I'm saying. So that's what I did. Okay, so another way that you can, like when you think about being positive in your life, like a lot of people would think, well, I'm going to go to bed on time. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to work out. I'm going to drink plenty of water, right? Like things like that. Like you're kind of nourishing your agenda or your schedule for the day so that you can stay positive. But something else that you got to think about is surrounding yourself with the people who lift you up. So when you're doing that workout, are you listening to an uplifting podcast, a business-minded podcast, or are you listening to Serial Killer? I got nothing against whatever podcast you want to listen to, but I just want to encourage you to be careful of what you let in your mind every single morning, right? Are you taking a walk with your neighbor and are they bitching and moaning every morning about how they're tired and the kid does this and blah, 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 when you're trying to like focus and get your day started? Because if so, put your earbuds in and tell them you're really sorry, but you can't listen to them today. Like there just comes a time where you have got to protect your energy, and that energy is happening in between these ears. Limit your contact with those who undermine, erode, or corrode your confidence and well-being. We all have people in our life who, whether they do it on purpose or not, try so hard to chip away at us. You just do. I'm sure right now, even if you don't want to admit it, there is a name that pops up in your head right now. There is somebody or somebodies out there who every time you see them, they either ask you how your little business is doing, or they don't ask you about your business at all because they assume you've already quit, or they bring up how, oh, I was talking to my neighbor the other day. She said she tried that Thrive and it, I don't know, gave her heart palpitations, whatever, right? Like people just they'll do anything they can to get to you. You've got to fight that. And when I say fight it, I don't mean you have to like get in their face and yell at them. Don't waste your energy on them, but put your energy into putting that wall up and be like, that's a shame. I actually had a lady, this is a really good example, Tammy. I actually had a lady comment on one of my shake videos the other day, like out of nowhere. I actually thought at first I responded with a laughy face. And then I was like, oh, wait, I think she's being serious, but I don't know her. She's a stranger to me. And she commented and said, those shakes gave me heart palpitations. Well, the reason I thought it was funny at first was it was the day that I put frozen avocado in it. And most of the comments were like, oh my God, hard pass. No, I would never do it. So I just thought she was kind of being funny. Like, oh, an avocado but then I was like, wait a minute, maybe she's being serious. So I just gave her the care emoji, the little, whatever. And then I was like, I hate to hear that. I've drank them now for 9 years and I've never had any problems. Oh, girlfriend didn't want to leave it alone. Remember, a stranger comes back. Oh, that happens to lots of people with those shakes. I know, I promoted. And I was like, well, girlfriend, why the fudge would you promote a product that gave you heart palpitations? This is very interesting. So I just wrote her back and I said, I'm so glad you found the cause of your problem. And then she went away. But she tried really, really hard to make me feel bad that she had a problem with a product that apparently she loved so much at one point she decided to sell it. So tell me that wasn't somebody just purposely being shitty. Somebody purposely saw a Thrive video of some kind, doesn't know me from Adam, and decides I'm going to pee all over this girl. And I just didn't let her do it because I don't have time for that in my life. I drink it. I love it. All the other people I know drink it and love it. And I'm not listening to that one person who wants to be a bee on the interwebs, right? People love to try and make their problems other people's problems so they don't have to accept their own faults. Amen. Amen. I just thought it was so funny though. Like, why would you ever promote a product if it gave you heart palpitations from day one? Anyway, we don't like her. Okay. Excuse me. So just keeping track of sharing your time and your space with people who are positive and uplifting. There are times where I'll be at like a girlfriend lunch and there'll be like that one girlfriend who just ain't having it. She just is in a bad mood. She hates her husband, hates her life, and wants everyone to also hate their husband in their life for that day. And I just sometimes will excuse myself to the restroom to get some space and let the conversation go away. Or I will just say, man, I hate that for you. What are you doing to change it? Because I just get tired, right? You just get tired of people bitching sometimes. So I'm naturally, I think it's called an empath, is how you say it. And like where I can walk in a room and I know right away who's struggling, what's going on, who's having a problem. And I feel it and I naturally want to fix it. And I have learned over the years, and I mean, over all the years, I have learned to be like, oh, I feel it. Oh, that's not your problem, Tammy. Don't take that in, right? You can acknowledge it. Yeah, you can feel it 2,000 miles away. Yes. Yeah, there are days I'm like, Sam, what's up, girl? Something in my left nostril makes me think that you're not right today. But, and it's okay to be that way. It's totally okay to care about people. But you also have to remember their problems aren't your problems. And if you let, like Courtney said, some people want you to take on their problems. They want to share them with you so that they don't have to do it alone. Now, there is a time and a place in your life. Maybe your best friend's father passes away. Yeah, you're going to share that problem with them in that moment. But if it's the people who are just poo-pooing and poo-pooing and poo-pooing and not doing anything to change their life, then no, you can't take that on. That's not your responsibility. You can't change it for them. Only they can change it for them. So you can support them in the change, right? You can say, what are you going to do to change this? But you don't have to dive into it. Negativity takes just as much intentionality as positivity. So the next time you feel a negative thought, whether it comes from yourself or someone else, realize how much energy that is taking, right? It can either be bringing energy to you or it can be sucking the life out of you. And if it's your own brain, if it's you walking around with your dirty feet in your brain, telling yourself that you're not good enough, that this is never going to happen, why should you do all this work? People are going to talk about you. I don't know, all the things that we tell ourselves. When you feel yourself doing that, just stop and take a break. Take a breath. Think for a hot second of how much energy you just wasted and how can you turn that around. You are worthy. You are smart enough. This can happen. You guys, I'm not a fangirl by any means, but I did comment to Courtney Glazer recently on one of her posts because she's literally paving the way. There is no one on this screen who can tell me that you can't do it because she is showing you it can be done, right? Her team is about to hit the $1 million for the first time ever. So now that ceiling is broken. Like you can no longer say it can't be done, right? Because somebody paved the way. So if you are feeling negative or someone is saying to you, oh, well, that business, my friend Sally, she sold stuff and she lost so much money, but well, I hate that for Sally. We have people on our team that are doing $1 million a month. Sally must have been with the wrong company. I feel bad for her. Here's my card, have her sign up. Right? You just have to turn it around. You just have to remember it's truly possible. Everything that you think you can't do, you're wrong. They say if you think you can, you think you can't, you're right. I'm telling you straight up, you're wrong. If you think you can't do it, you're wrong because it's already been done. Somebody's already lost their rank and got it back. Somebody's already been in business for 6 years with nothing, with no volume under them, and they hit 12K, right? All of those things have already happened. So it can continue to happen for you. Let me see. We talked a little bit about this, about how like when somebody comes at you with negativity, if you're not careful, you'll turn that negativity on yourself. Like how many times have you had, oh, hey, yeah, I worked hard to do, yeah, you can say something, just unmute, Sandra. Or maybe not, maybe shut.
Okay, no, I'm running late to work, of course. But anyway, in the teaching world, there is a phrase that is called the self-fulfilling prophecy. And, it's really hard. You have to work really hard because small children are just like adults. They've got personalities. You don't get along with all, personalities. However, what self-fulfilling prophecy are you saying about yourself? Have you voiced something about yourself that you're like, okay, and you've counted yourself out? Don't. Otherwise, you are giving yourself a negative self-fulfilling prophecy. And you want to set yourself up for absolute success by always making those I ams in a positive tone. Everything you say out loud is in between your ears and it goes in your head. So what self-fulfilling prophecy are you saying about yourself?
Yeah, I love it. And that goes to what goes back to what I said in the beginning. When the rank advances first dropped and my tracker was for 40K, I was like, I don't want to hit 40K because then people are gonna know I wasn't 80K. Then people are gonna know. Who the hell cares? Those people are not paying my bills. None of those people are paying my bills. And now I can pay some bills because I went ahead and got out of my own damn way, right? So yeah, what you say about yourself is what's going to happen. And so whether you're telling yourself you're growing every day, you're getting better every day, you're taking on challenges every day, or if you're saying I can't, I won't, it can't, blah blah blah, then yeah, you are going to self-fulfill those. I mean, we talk so much about vision boards and IAMs. I think when it comes down, and sometimes I know people feel weird with IAMs. What it comes down to is what is the conversation you're having with yourself in your head? Like if you were to go stand in front of a mirror and say out loud to that mirror the things that go through your mind, what would the reflection on the other side of that mirror do? I know in my case, she probably would have started to cry. Like, what the hell? Why would I ever say those things to myself? But yet they were rolling through my head every damn day, right? I was allowing that negative voice in my head to stomp through my mind with their dirty feet instead of just calling myself out. And actually, maybe that's the thing to do. If you can't seem to turn off that loop, go stand in front of the mirror and take that loop out loud. Let it out of your body, let it out of your brain, say it out loud, feel it. And then remind yourself that's a really shitty way to treat somebody, especially yourself, right? There are so many things I would never, ever, ever say about another human that I know go through my mind. And I have to stop myself. I have to be like, whoa, that's shitty. Why would you say that to yourself, Tammy? Right? Like you have to have those conversations. Yeah, because you can't truly be positive and truly lead a team and truly lead this life that we deserve, right? We talk about feeling great, having energy, living the life, helping other people. You truly can't help other people if you can't even say something nice about yourself. Like, think about that. You can fake it. Oh, I'm surround sound. Well, what? It's double surround sound because that dirty feet thing kept coming to me. Oh, thank you for being vulnerable. This match happens. One thing rank does inside your paycheck. Yeah, exactly. It's having people work. Yes. And you can't, there was no way that I could truly lead a strong team when in the back of my mind, I was getting caught up with, well, what will people, you guys, here's one for you. Do we have time for this? Here's one for you. When Lindsay and Sam called that day and said, we've been asked to speak at Palooza, I was like, oh shit. My PPA is 0. I'm not even an 80K. What if they look in the back office? They're going to be like, this girl can't be up there talking. And then I was like, it's all because of Samantha. And it is like Samantha like does all this amazing stuff and makes everything like boot camp was like what put us all on the map, right? And then when Sam couldn't come, I was like, oh my God, the girl who I like ride on her coattails can't even be there. Now I have to stand up there. Like that was like so weird for me. I didn't think I could do it. I was like, well, people aren't going to be as exciting. Like Sam makes all the graphics. She makes everything look pretty and it all sounds really good. Like, what am I going to do? And Lindsay, not that you're chopped liver, but you know what I mean? Because like you feel the same way about Sam, right? Kind of proved even more that you deserve to be there. Well, thank you. Because I didn't believe it until it was over and done. And I was like, wow, I didn't die. And nobody asked me when I was on stage what my rank was. Nobody asked me when I got off stage what my last paycheck was. Nope. It never came up in conversation. Even Mr. Camper himself didn't come over and be like, hey, by the way, we let you on stage, get your PPA up. I was really kind of expecting that. So it doesn't, it's sometimes you just have to do it scared because you are worthy and you are able and you are capable. And yes, people, I'm sure there's a handful of people that were like, oh, that panel sort of sucked. And then there's a handful of people who are like, that panel was amazing. And you know what? I'm not here for either one of those groups. I was here and there for myself. I shared something that we do as a team that I think works really well. And that's all I could do was stand up and share what I know. And that's all I'm asking you to do is to be who you are, step into who you are. Don't listen to other people, especially the people who repetitively try to knock you down, right? Because here's one of the biggest things you have to remember. Keeping the dirty feet in mind. When somebody like, okay, I have dogs. Anybody in here have dogs? It's been spring. It's been muddy. It's been freshly cut grass. So my kitchen floor, wow, it's bad. And I swear I clean it and then it's bad. And then I clean it and then it's bad. It's just the time of season we're in. But here's the thing. I don't not clean it. I don't think, well, I'm not going to bother cleaning this up because tomorrow they're going to mess the floor up again. right? I still clean it up every day because otherwise it gets uncontrollable and out of hand, right? So when somebody comes in and they stomp all over your mind with their dirty feet, whether it's your own feet or their feet, clean up the mess, right? If you're the one that stomped all around, apologize to yourself. Let yourself know, hey, I know you were tired. I know you were hungry. I know you were grumpy. I know you felt, you're on your period, whatever, like all the things, right? Those are the times that we're meanest to ourselves, right? I know all that was happening, but I'm really sorry that I said all those shitty things to you, because that's what you would do if you said something really mean to your best friend. You would go to them. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was hangry. I would have never said that. Please forgive me, right? Have that conversation with yourself. Clean it up. Clean up your mess. And if somebody else has the audacity to come in and walk around with their dirty ass feet in your mind, not only do you need to escort them directly out, but you immediately follow them with a broom and a mop and you clean that up. You remind yourself that that's their problem. That's a reflection of them, not you. And you don't have time or space in your brain for that nastiness that they just threw all over you, right? Because your mind, your brain, it's a fluid thing. Like it's constantly changing. Like your moods. We're women. Are we not constantly changing our mind and our mood? Right? Did you not paint the room blue and now you want to paint it green? And now you're like, oh my God, I don't like it at all. I'm going to paint it white. Right? Are you not just constantly changing? Well, there's beauty to that. When somebody comes through and they're crappy or you're crappy to yourself, your mind is fluid. Clean it up and move on. Right? You have the ability to change your mood. You have the ability to change your mindset. So I think one of the biggest things to remember here is that, like we plug our phone in every night. I mean, or sometimes by mid-afternoon, right? We got to plug that in because we got to get it going. I'm the first one to keep my kitchen floor clean because what if somebody shows up? I don't want them to see how we truly, really live. Do the same thing for your mind. Check on yourself throughout the day. Do you need to plug in? Do you need to get away from your computer or get away from some people? Do you need to listen to a podcast? Do you need to read your Bible? Like whatever you need to do you need to plug in? Or do you need to clean up? Did some shit go down this morning that has thrown you off your game all afternoon? And instead of saying, I'm having a crappy day, you're going to clean it up and say, I had a bad morning, but things are better now. Right? You have the ability to do that. You can either waste a day, a week, a month, a year, or you can just clean up after those couple of hours and get yourself back on track. And make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm going to ask some questions. That's right. I have some questions here. Kind of. Okay. So, and you can answer these out loud. You can answer them in your head. You can whatever you want to do. What impact do other people have on your personal growth journey? How have those relationships changed as you have grown? How many of you have lost friends because you've grown? Yeah. And it's kind of sad, but then it's kind of not, because I'll still run into these people and I'm still connected to them and I still have great feelings towards them, but we're not hanging out all the time anymore because they're, pissy Polly and I don't have time for that. Right? Or they're chasing their tail and I got tired of chasing my tail. What new relationships have you cultivated? Hello, look at the screen. I cannot imagine my life without any of you. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The day Sam moved to Arizona, I cried. I could not believe my girl was moving all the way to Arizona. I thought, oh my gosh. But this is just proof of our relationship, right? We've cultivated these relationships because we're like-minded. We all want to grow. We all want to do better. We all want to get someplace where we aren't. How have you managed your long-standing old relationships? Right? They could be good or bad. How do you manage them? Do you have some people that you just send a Christmas card to once a year? Or do you have, I have a girlfriend, we try to have lunch every single Friday. And it doesn't always happen, but if we don't plan it for every single Friday, then it would never happen. Right? So even if we get 2 Fridays out of the month, that's 2 that we never would have gotten. Lindsay, Sandra says, all of this amazing group of people right here and more. Lindsay says, legit grew an effing backbone at 40 because of this biz, and I'm proud of it. Yes, you did. How do you guard your mind? I'm adamant about my morning podcast. And poor Tom, sometimes he tries to walk with me and sometimes he's talking and I'm like, I cannot hear you. And I love him, but I made that deal from the get-go. I was like, you can walk with me, but you cannot talk to me because I got my podcast in. So how do you guard your mind? Like, to me, that's feeding my mind so that I'm better prepared for the day. And then I'll tell you, doing these Zooms, this feeds my mind. This is how I also guard my mindset, right? This is how I learn. I've learned from myself and I've learned from all of you. And that's why I love that we check in with each other for this kind of stuff. What do you do if people walk through your mind with dirty feet? Does anybody have any thoughts on what you're planning on doing starting today when somebody walks through your mind with their dirty feet? We have to be bulletproof all the time. Yes.
I would say for me right now is just saying that I'm in a season where my head's down and I'm growing, and I'm sorry if that's offensive to you. And I have to say that to family, friends, even some thrivers right now that I'm having to say that to, because I can't, being a leader, remember we vent down or vent up and shine down. You can only take on so much as a leader. And so I'm having to learn to say, okay, you get 3 minutes, but after that, I don't want to hear about it anymore because I carry people's burdens.
Yes.
So, and I'm carrying them right now with this whole effing cruise thing going on. So it's just a thing, you just do, but you have to let people vent and move on.
Yes. Yes. Sandra says, bless and release. Amen. Sheila, who I now know as Sheila, says, I always freeze up. I need to get over myself. Maybe it's not get over yourself as much as be kind to yourself. When you freeze, so there's fight or flight, right? That's just genetically how we are. We fight or flight. So when you freeze up like that, like that's your adrenals like totally locking down. You're like a deer in headlights because you don't know how to take care of yourself in that moment. And I don't think you need to get over yourself as much as you need to say, hey, Sheila, like that really sucked. Like what that person just said or did. Wow, that's really shitty of them. Like, are you okay? How do you feel about it? Like sometimes you just have to check in with yourself, like really truly check in with yourself. What are your thoughts about Gandhi's words? So any thoughts about I will not, let me read the exact quote because I don't want to quote Gandhi wrong because I feel like I'll get to heaven someday and I'll get in trouble. I will not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet. Does anybody have any thoughts on what that means to them? What this Zoom meant to them? I shared a lot. You guys have to share with me. That's how it works around here. Or not.
I'm just going to throw myself in front of the bus. I struggle over the winter with seasonal depression, and this winter has been, even though the weather has been mild, the most mild winter we've had here in Ohio in quite some time,
it was still
it
dark.
has hit me so much harder this year than it has the last several years. And I've been a hot ass mess driving the bus, and trying to get myself out of it this year has been such a challenge. And now everything that I used to just let roll off my shoulders just sticks right to my face. And it's driving me insane.
I will say, even though it was mild winter, it was very dark, short days, as always, freaking Ohio. I cannot stand it. I would just ask you what you're doing to take care of yourself physically. Like what space are you giving yourself? I also struggle with the seasonal thing, and I know it kind of is counterintuitive, but I make myself go outside and take that damn walk every day, even when there's snow on the ground or it's 20 degrees out there. And that is
See, I cheated. I bought myself a walking pad. I walk 1.5 miles every morning.
Good. But honestly, some fresh air could be good. Sonia says, it kind of goes along with the book I've been reading this month. I still need to do the I ams, but trying to get better at what I say to myself or what others say to me. Yeah. It's amazing, like what we say to ourselves. Oh, and Lindsay, I had a thought when you were talking earlier. I think it was Ed Milet also said, pardon my progress. He says he's had to actually say that to family, pardon my progress. I'm head down, I'm building a business, or I'm really focused on my health and wellness right now. Like, I mean, we all have had this, I bet. I mean, even as an adult, when you say no to a cocktail and your friends are like, oh my God, why aren't you drinking? Ah. Hey, Sally, if you want to hang over tomorrow, cool with you. I'm choosing not to, right? We are constantly having to stand up for ourselves. So pardon my progress. Pardon my progress. I'm cutting back on booze. Pardon my progress. I'm cutting back on negative talk. Pardon my progress. I'm cutting back on checking in every day about whatever reality TV show is popular right now. Pardon my progress. I'm trying to get the hell off of TikTok, right? Like, anytime you can make progress in your life in one way, shape, or form. And you guys, again, I'm a huge fan of these passion projects. That's why I push them so much with you. Having my house decluttered, what an amazing feeling that was last month. I literally am craving my 3 o'clock shake nowadays. What a great feeling for somebody who needed to get out of the candy jar, right? I'm making progress somewhere at all times in my life. And that's what keeps me going, even when I'm having a shitty day, even when I'm having a shitty month, right? So think of something you can do for yourself to progress, and then stick to it. Prove to yourself that you're worth it and that you care enough about yourself to do it. And you'll be shocked at how much further you can go and how much stronger your mindset gets because you prove to yourself that you are doing what you say you're going to do. So anyway, such a simple analogy about the dirty feet, but it's helped my mind already. Cleaning time for me. Good. I don't know who Samsung SM-S9 is, but hello. I'm glad you're on here with us. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. Hopefully this was helpful. Share it with your team. If not, it'll be on my YouTube channel here soon, as I get it uploaded. Bye.